first man, number 1 platoon. Steady! Carry on the line. Steady! Back on the end, number 1 platoon. Steady! Back, first man, number 2 platoon. Steady! Carry on the line. Steady! Stand still. Front Ike. Back, first man, number 1 platoon. Steady. Carry on the line. Steady. Back, first man, number 2 platoon. Steady. Carry on the line. Steady. Up on the end, number 2 platoon. Steady. Stand still. Round rank. Guard over now. Eyes front.
Colorado! Colorado! Standard!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with a round of applause the Prime Minister for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Davis, the Chief Justice, the Honorable Sir Ian Winder, the Deputy Prime Minister for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, and the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Wayne Monroe. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been invited to stand as we prepare for the entrance of Her Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Cynthia Pratt, Governor General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. She's being escorted by Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Kirkwood Andrews. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Commissioner of Police Designate and the Senior Executive Team. Let's give them one moment. They're waiting for the arrival of the Commissioner. Right now, the Commissioner of Police is being welcomed by members of his executive team. Welcome with me, the Commissioner of Police Designate and your executive team. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Clayton Fernanda and Mrs. Fernanda. Accompanying him is Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Kirkwood Andrews and Staff Officer, Assistant Superintendent Delvin Davis.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. Assistant Superintendent of Police Jason Fernando reports the 2025 Commissioner of Police handover ceremony and parade. There are 2 platoons under my command. The Royal Bahamas Police Force Band is under the direction of Chief Superintendent Selden Adley. The guard is at the open order and awaits your inspection, sir.
Commissioner of Police, Mr. Clayton Fernanda, will now inspect the Guard of Honor under the command of Assistant Superintendent Jason Fernanda, who also happens to be the son of the Commissioner. Commissioner will inspect both platoons along with the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band. The male platoon is led by Inspector Rico Thompson. The women's platoon is under the charge of Woman Inspector Deandra Moss. The band is led by Chief Superintendent Selden Adderley. Accompanying the Commissioner is Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Kirkwood Andrews, along with Police Staff Officer, Assistant Superintendent Delvin Davis. and gentlemen, please stand. Please remain standing as we invite Canon Stephen Davies, Royal Bahamas Police Force Chaplain, to say a prayer.
Please bow your heads. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, give you thanks this day. We give you thanks for Clayton, for his life of service, courage, integrity, loyalty, and leadership, for his sacrifices and the sacrifices of his family. Bless him and bless his family. Bless his new pursuits and endeavors. And now, Father, send your power down. Send your power down. And renew in Shanta courage, integrity, loyalty. Endow her with wisdom, discernment, understanding, and compassion. Renew her love for you and for the work you have called her to do. Now, Father, we ask your blessings on her daughter, her mom, and her family. We thank you for their willingness to lend her to us. Gracious Father, bless our Royal Bahamas Police Force and bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
You may be seated. Her Excellency, the Governor General, the Honorable Prime Minister and Mrs. Davis, the Honorable Chief Justice, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Minister of National Security, members of the Cabinet, Leader of the Official Opposition, President of the Court of Appeal, President of the Senate, members of the Senate, Speaker of the House and members of the House of Assembly, former Governor General, former Prime Ministers, members of the Judiciary, Commissioner of Police, Commissioner of Police Designate, the President of the Christian Council, heads of denominations and other religious leaders, heads of the Diplomatic Corps and the members of the Diplomatic Corps, Secretary to the Cabinet, Commander of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Controller of Customs, Permanent Secretaries, Commissioner of Bahamas Department of Corrections, Director of Immigration, the Executive Branch, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, members of the Armed Forces, former Commissioners of Police, other senior government officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I guess I should say everyone who's here from Eleuthera, good afternoon. I understand the boat and plane has not stopped coming from yesterday. I wonder what's happening. To provide us with a selection, please welcome with me the Royal Bahamas Police Force Choir under the charge of Assistant Superintendent Wahid Bain and being directed by Inspector Ryan Richardson. Give them a round of applause, please.
Shepherd, I shall not
Usually tempted to call for the collection after the choir sings, but not today. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure at this time to invite the Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernando, to the podium to deliver his farewell address.
To God be the glory, great things he has done. Your Excellency, with your permission, I wish to stand on the established protocol. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope, future. This biblical voice holds much sentimental value as it reflects the divine plans that have been in place since the very beginning. Today is a bittersweet moment as I address you on this momentous occasion. From a young age, my calling has always been to serve as a police officer and make a positive change in society. On July 27, 1982, this became my reality for 42 consecutive years. Policing isn't an easy job. It's a constantly changing and demanding profession. Yet, those of us who have taken this path in life understand that we owe a duty of trust and care above all else to the public in the execution of our duties. Over 2.5 years ago, I took over the command as Commissioner of Police of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Today marks the end of an accomplished and fulfilling journey. I can truly say I give it my best shot. A man who came from humble beginnings all the way from San Salvador and Baintown to the Commissioner's office. God has been good to me. During my tenure, we did some groundbreaking work that will remain a part of my legacy for years to come. Notably, in the past 2 years, we have recruited 334 police officers, 109 police reserves. We have also assisted Turks Island with the training and recruitment of 18 police officers. We established the Anti-Gang and Firearms Task Force Unit to function independently with local and international law enforcement partners. Mandated to stem the flow of firearms trafficking in the Bahamas and to disrupt organized gangs. We established the Domestic Violence Task Force Unit to work with stakeholders, NGOs, and volunteers to assist victims of domestic violence. The building identified is currently undergoing renovation. We revamped Saturation Patrol and replaced our aging fleet with 100 new police trucks to effectively patrol and navigate varying terrain across Bahamas. We hosted our first ever technology expo and invited the general public to view the latest tools and equipments at our disposal to fight crime, which also includes our latest artificial intelligence license plates recognition, which is yielding positive results. We rebuilt and reopened the 8 Mile Rock Police Station in Grand Bahama after it was destroyed by Hurricane Dorian. We relocated the Security and Intelligence Branch to a state-of-the-art facility at 1 Montague Place. We established the Royal Bahamas Police Force Cancer Association to financially assist our police officers, reserves, civilians that are diagnosed with cancer. And we hosted the Interpol Americas Regional Conference with delegates from all around the world for the first time in the history of the Bahamas. Ladies and gentlemen, the force is one of the oldest institutions on record and represents more than simply law enforcement services. With over 184 years of distinguished policing service, the force continues to execute its core mandate to maintain laws of the land and protect the Bahamian people. Your Royal Bahamas Police Force is filled with the most talented men and women who can stand shoulder to shoulder with their law enforcement counterparts around the world. We should all be proud of what we have built, and I ask the general public to respect and support your police, because they will always answer your call in times of distress. To that end, I am eternally grateful for the opportunity I was given by the Prime Minister and by extension, the government of the Bahamas to serve the people of this great nation, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Mr. Prime Minister, I will miss those Thursday morning meetings, also when necessary. You helped to prepare me not only for this time, but beyond during those meetings. We didn't only discuss crime, and I believe that you should be commended for a job well done, because the passion that you have for the Bahamian people and as I indicated, not just crime you will discuss, but to look out and find ways to try to save the young people of this beautiful country. I thank you for that. Thank you, Prime Minister, for believing in me and entrusting safety and security of the Bahamian people with me. As I demit office with my head held high, my integrity intact, I shall keep the Lord even closer, because he saw me through. He has always been constant in my life. He has directed my path to this point, this position, and he is doing it again as I exit. To my family, my wife, Christine, wow, what a pillar of strength. Mr. Prime Minister, I remember a few years ago when I met my wife for the first time. I was a young, sharp detective. We visited the hospital on many occasions to deal with complaints. It wasn't no gunshot wounds then. Little stabbing, rocking, bottle throwing. Most of the detectives then, we are married or nurses. I recall working nights. We used to take our break at the staff room at accident emergency section. And that's where I met my wife. The rest was history. I must commend her. I recall in 2013 when I was shot. And you know how mothers' love is. My mom was pushing her way in, said she have that. But my wife stepped in with respect and said, Mom, I have this. When I was airlifted to Miami for treatment, emergency flight, as they wheeled me into the emergency section there, I met her. She opened the door for me. I guess she chartered a flight to get there. But she arrived before me. But I must say, honey, I love you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. You put up a lot. You know, as a detective, you're working all hours of the night. And your bag is always packed to travel to family violence to deal with investigations. I want to thank you for that. To my two children, Jason, who you saw, was the commander of the parade, and my daughter, beautiful daughter, Gianna, she had to travel due to some prior engagement, but she's watching live. I could recall during that same time when I was shot, she was about to be entered into St. Leo's in Tampa after finishing and graduating from SAC. During that same time, while I was being attacked in the driveway, my family was inside and they only heard the shots. They either came out and saw what had happened. But that was during the time, the transition, she was trying to prepare herself to go to school. And that hit home to her so much. But what I was so proud of her first semester in school, she had to write an essay on the experience that what she experienced in life with family. And she wrote about the same incident where I was shot. And she got an A+. An A+ for that. She is now finished her master's in healthcare. The Jason, he wanted to follow in his daddy's footsteps. He is now Assistant Superintendent of Police. I thank him and wish him well as he continues. To my dear mom, the matriarch of the family, who continue to keep us together, I thank you for those prayers. I always, when I go by, I will rub her knees because she's always on her knees, praying. I want to say thank you, Mom. I love you as well. To my dear brothers, Clifton, Lloyd, the oldest sister, Deborah, Jack, thank you for supporting me through it and Wells. Apostle Delton Fernando, our boardroom saw countless long days and nights strategizing regional and international. Thank you for your support over the years. Minister Wayne Monroe, you played your part, as you always at the Ministry of National Security, as well as Ms. Cordell for your support, rule of law. To all the divisional commanders in New Providence, Grant and his team at the Research and Policy Branch, thank you for your leadership, excellence, her team in media. And thank you for keeping the public informed every time. Intelligence Bureau, thank you, you and your team, for assisting in driving the operation. Chief Superintendent Raming, with respect to investigation, thank you so much. To my staff of ship afloat, to my secretaries, ever thankful for your support. Dame Marguerite Finland, thank you for your support. From the time I was sworn in as Commissioner of Police, every invitation that was extended to you, you honored it, the present. Thank you. At C.C. Sweeten High School, I would like to personally thank you because you continue to encourage me throughout my career as an adult. Up to this point, I became commissioner. I appreciate your support. And last but not least, I would like to thank the great men and women of this noble organization, including all police officers, police reserves, and civilian staff members, for embracing my vision and making my tenure a successful one. I want to encourage all officers to continue to serve the Bahamian people. Courage, loyalty, and integrity. To you, the public, a big thank you. Could not have made it without you. Thank you so much. It has been an honor to serve as the Commissioner of Police and lead the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I'm equally honored and especially proud to hand over my duties, responsibilities, and authority of the commissionership on this historic occasion to my successor, the first female Commissioner of Police, Ms. Shanta Emily Knowles. I am exceedingly confident that I am leaving the force and its entire legacy in capable hands. As I welcome Commissioner Shanta Knowles to a new mantle of leadership, I would like to encourage all ranks, civilian staff, and especially the general public to extend her the same courtesy, respect, and support that you give me as she navigates the force into higher heights of policing. Ms. Knowles has many firsts in her career. She was the first female commander of Criminal Investigation Department, first female assistant commissioner for the Northern Bahamas, and now the first female commissioner of police. She brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the organization. May the Lord cover and protect you in your work to serve the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I recall when I was looking for someone to take over Grand Bahama, put to the table. Everybody else put their head down. Shanta stood up, firm. She said, "Commissioner, I will go." You know, this is how the good Lord works in mysterious ways. And she went, she proved herself, and she did well. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness. Thank you so much. May God continue to bless the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the podium the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Honorable Philip Davis. You may be seated.
I beg leave likewise to stand on the protocol that has been established. But nevertheless, Your Excellency, friends, all present, good afternoon to all. Today, as we gather to mark this significant transition in leadership, I can't help but reflect on my own childhood memories. Growing up, I watched my father, brave senior, him with immense pride as he put on his police uniform. I remember helping him shine his gold buttons, polish his shoes and belt, small tasks that taught me so much about the discipline, honor, and pride that come with serving this country. He spent about 3 years on the police force when the police force was part of the crash crew service of the airport. It was through those memories that I came to understand the profound responsibility that the uniform represents. Not just a duty to uphold the law, but a commitment to protect, serve, and lead with integrity. Those values were instilled in me from an early age, and they remain a guiding principle in everything I do. As I stand here today, I feel it is important to acknowledge the feelings that many Bahamians have expressed about our institutions, including Royal Bahamas Police Force. I've said it before, I say it again. The people of this country deserve institutions they can trust. Without trust, the very foundation of our democracy and public safety begins to erode. I know that. For too many, trust in our police force has been shaken. Stories of misconduct, corruption, and a lack of accountability have left a stain that cannot be ignored. And let me be clear, ignoring these realities serve no one. Not the officers who wear the uniform with pride, not the communities who depend on their service, and not the leadership tasked with overseeing them. This is why rebuilding that trust is not just a priority, it is an urgent necessity. It's not enough to say we are committed to change. We must show it through transparency, accountability, and actions that match our words. I know that the actions of a few have cast a shadow over the entire force, but I also know that Royal Bahamas Police Force is filled with good, hardworking men and women who are dedicated to protecting and serving this nation. I know that. So we cannot allow misdeeds of some overshadow the integrity of the many who risk their lives every day for the safety of our communities. This moment is about resetting the standard. It is about making it clear that no one is above the law, not even those tasked with upholding it. It is about ensuring that every officer, from the newest recruit to the most senior leader, understands the weight of the uniform they wear and the responsibility it carries. The path forward begins now. Building trust will not happen overnight, and it will not be easy. It will require vigilance, honesty, and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths. But I believe in the strength of this institution and in the resolve of the Bahamian people to demand and support meaningful change. I said, I've said it before, and again I will say it, we'll shake the tree until every bad apple falls. And if shaking the tree isn't enough, we'll cut it at the root to ensure that no more bad fruit grows. The actions of a few cannot and will not be allowed to tarnish this organization's reputation and that of our country's good name. Those who think they can hide behind a badge and engage in wrongdoing, there's no place for you in this force. We will have zero tolerance for those who do not wish to be accountable. Our commitment to rooting out corruption is not just about cleaning house. It is about safeguarding the honor of this institution and restoring the trust of the Bahamian people. The people of this country deserve a police force they can respect, one that operates with integrity and transparency, and no one that stands firmly against any, and that one that stands firmly against any abuse of power. And this force is, as I said before, good people. As leaders, it is our responsibility to send a message, not just within the ranks of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, but to every institution in this country. That message is simple. Accountability is non-negotiable. This is how we protect the dignity of our institutions and ensure that every Bahamian feels secure, respected, and valued. Friends, today, we honor one of our country's finest sons, Commissioner Clayton Fernando. Commissioner, your journey from humble beginnings, the highest office in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, is a story of resilience, dedication, and of service to this nation. For over 4 decades, you have devoted your life protecting and serving the Bahamian people. You are a man of integrity, a leader who has always put country above self. Your long and proud career exemplifies what it means to wear uniform with honor. From the streets of San Salvador and Bain Town, the Commissioner's office, your leadership has been marked by a tireless commitment to making the Bahamas a safer place for all. You have navigated challenging times with wisdom and strength, introducing innovative approaches to crime fighting and modernizing the force in ways that will be felt for years to come. Commissioner Fernando, your legacy, as you recounted, one of action, courage, and compassion. You've been a source of strength for your officers, a voice of reason in difficult times, and a steadfast protector of the Bahamian people. Today, as you step into a new chapter, you do so with the gratitude of an entire. On behalf of the Bahamian people, I thank you for your incredible service. You have made your family, your community, your country, Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador very, very proud. May the next chapter of your life bring you the peace and joy that you so richly deserve. And so now, friends, we welcome Commissioner-designate Shanta Knowles. A leader uniquely equipped to take on the enormous challenges our nation faces. Commissioner-designate Knowles, your appointment comes at a critical time when the Royal Bahamas Police Force must rise to confront the pressing issues of crime and public safety while rebuilding the trust of the Bahamian people. From your early days in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, becoming the first female commissioner of police in the history of our nation, your journey reflects the power of hard work and the strength of character. It has not been an easy road for you, but you have walked it with grace, courage, and a steadfast steadfast belief in the values that define this noble institution. You have spent your career preparing for this moment, proving time and again that you possess the vision, strength, and determination needed to lead. You have not just broken barriers, you have excelled in every role you have taken on, earning the respect of your peers and the confidence of this nation. This is a pivotal movement for our country, and we need a leader who understands that fighting crime is about more than enforcement. It is about engagement, rebuilding communities, and restoring faith in our institutions. Commissioner Designate Knowles, I am confident that you are that leader. Your ability to combine strategic thinking with a deep understanding of the realities our communities face makes you the right person to steer the force into this new era. Your leadership will be defined by actions that rebuild trust. Trust between the police and the public, trust in our institutions, and trust in the idea that justice will always prevail. Yemen people need to know that their safety is your highest priority. I have no doubt that you will meet this challenge head-on with integrity and unwavering resolve. Commissioner Designate Knowles, the road ahead will not be easy, but I'm confident that you are ready for it. The nation believes in you. I know you will inspire your team to deliver on the promise of a safer, stronger Bahamas. As you take on this mantle of leadership, know that you have the support of this government, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and the people of the Bahamas. This is your time to lead, to inspire, and to deliver the change our country needs. We believe in you, Commissioner Designate Knowles, and we look forward to the brighter days your leadership will help us achieve. The issue of crime is not one that can be solved by the police alone, nor can it be addressed solely by government policies. It is a reflection of something far deeper, a collective challenge that requires the attention, action, and commitment of every Bahamian. Crime is not just about laws broken. It is about the erosion of the values that binds us together as a society. When families fracture, when communities turn inward, and when wrongdoing is tolerated because of familiarity or convenience, we all lose a piece of who we are. This is not a problem of policing alone. It is a problem that calls on us to reflect as a nation. What do we stand for? What do we wish to pass on to future generations? These are not questions for the police force alone. They're questions for every parent, teacher, leader, and citizen who calls this country their home. The fight against crime requires a whole of society response. It begins with parents who teach their children respect and responsibility. It continues with community leaders who foster unity and cooperation. It demands a government that listens, adapts, and supports solutions that address the root causes of violence and lawlessness. We must all play our part. Crime does not affect one community, one family, or one person. It affects us all. And so the solution must come from all of us. It will require not only enforcement, but engagement. Not only justice, but fairness. Not only leadership, but shared responsibility. We cannot allow crime to define us or to dictate the narrative of who we are. This is a movement, this is a moment to reclaim our sense of unity, to strengthen our communities, and to rebuild the trust that allows us to stand together as one people. Let us confront this challenge, not with blame, but with determination. Not with division, but with unity. For the fight against crime is, at its heart, a fight for the soul of our nation. And it is a fight that we must face together. To the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, today marks the start of a new era, this proud organization. You are the backbone of our nation's safety, I want you to know that better days are ahead. This force will rise stronger, more united, more committed to justice and integrity than ever before. The people of the Bahamas, I know trust is earned, and your police force is ready to earn it. With your support and with their dedication, we will rebuild the confidence and create a future where every community feels secure and safe. Congratulations again, Commissioner-designate Knowles. May the Lord continue to bless you and our beloved Bahamaland, and of course, bless Royal Bahamas Police Force. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We will now have a selection from a native of the beautiful island of Eleuthera, all the way from Governor's Harbor, a beautiful lady through and through. Please welcome with me, Mrs. Brenda Lee Patty.
Good afternoon. I'd like to say quickly, I begin with a hymn, a part of a hymn, and I will connect at the ending of a song that I wrote some time ago about the police. In the harvest fields now ripen, there's a word for all to do. Hark, the voice of God is calling to the heart that's calling you. Little is much when God is in it. Labor not for wealth or fame. There's a crown, and you can win it if you go in Jesus' name. Does the place you are called to labor, it seems so small and a little known. It is great if God is in it, and He'll not forget you, His own. Little is much when God is in it. Labor not for wealth or fame. There's a crown, and you can win it if you go in Jesus' name. Stand, policemen, stand. Stand, policemen, stand. Heads forward, eyes front was a command. All ranks in uniform to protect the Bahama land. So do your best, policemen, with patriotism and pride. And all of your decisions, in God you must rely. Some will tell you thank you, and others say, what's the fuss? But we will tell you thank you for looking out for us. and protect the Bahama land. Stand, policemen, stand. Stand, policemen, stand. Head forward, eyes front was the command. All ranks in uniform to protect the Bahama land.
One, two. I feel comfortable on behalf of the Royal Bahamas Police Force to say we need that recorded. Stand, policemen, stand. All ranks in uniform, the command to protect the Bahama land. Thank you so much. Let's give her a round of applause one more time, please. Wow, that was beautiful. I think that is a fitting way to have someone who came all the way from Eleuthera to sing such a wonderful song, to really talk about a wonderful force, and to welcome a wonderful Commissioner Police Designate. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Commissioner Designate for the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Shanta Knowles, who will deliver her response.
This is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. What a remarkable day it is. Your Excellency, may I please have your permission to stand on the established protocol? Thank you. Good afternoon. Today, as I assume the office of the Commissioner of Police, I stand here humbled and filled with gratitude to Almighty God, who is the center of my life and worthy of all praise, for he has guided my path to this historic day. I wish to thank my parents, Reginald and Felice, for always believing in me and raising me with a clean moral compass. They have guided me through many days of toil and sometimes what I thought were difficult training ideas. However, today, all of the guidance, love, and prayers they have given me over the years have come to fruition. I am thankful to all of you gathered here and others tuning in via television, radio, and live stream for the positive attributes you have shared with me. And to the brave and bold women leaders of the Royal Bahamas Police Force who have paved the way before me, chipping away at the stubborn glass ceiling and while upholding high standards of professionalism in their service to country. Your Excellency, with your leave, let me take a moment to recognize these pioneering women because today is an important day. Anita Bethel, Teresa Baker, Norma Clark, Alceda McFall, Hildred McLean, and Esther Stubbs are the first 6 females who trampled the initial barriers for women in policing on their historic arrival in 1964 as the first female police squad. Allardyce Strawn, the first female gazetted officer in 1988, Juanita Colebrook, the first female assistant commissioner of police in 2006, and Ismella Davis Delancey, the first female deputy commissioner in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, Hildred McLean, Juanita Colebrook, and Ismella Davis Delancey are here today. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. I salute each of you for standing shoulder to shoulder with our male counterparts and transcending all areas of policing for us to celebrate this historic occasion. It is indeed an exciting time for female police officers. It took us over 60 years to get here, but I am honored that my experience, training, hard work, and discipline allows us to finally carry the torch across the finish line. Yet, we have no intentions on resting on our laurels because there is a lot at stake. We have a country to protect and an organization to mend. Your Excellency, it wasn't an easy road for me to leave Rock Sound, Eleuthera, and travel to New Providence for a career in policing, to uproot the only life that I've known for a quest of the unknown. There were many challenging days throughout my journey, but I remained steadfast and resolute, holding close to my faith and many days looking to the hills, knowing that my strength cometh from the Lord. Therefore, Your Excellency, I clung to one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible that motivated me on many occasions. Work for the Lord and not for man, knowing that from the Lord you would receive the inheritance as your reward. And here we are today. He saw me through to this glass-shattering appointment as the first female commissioner of police in the history of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And concurrently, the 10th Bahamian commissioner appointed under an independent Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God has been good to me. To my beautiful and loving daughter, LaShann, you are my rock. And everything I do for you. You have supported me every step of the way with your inspiring words, love, and your approval. You never complained when I made sacrifices for the organization, leaving you secured at home so that I could help others. There were days when just your sheer presence brought peace, calm, and a big smile to my life. I am forever grateful that you are a part of my life, and I am proud of the young lady that you have become. I truly cherish your support, and I love you. I would like to thank my siblings, Lorraine, Wayne, Stacy, Tia, Dwayne, Robin, Reginald, Regina, and Gerard. Yes, I do have a big support family. My nieces and nephews, especially Ankia and Tamia, who are some of my biggest supporters and true supporters of the force. Thank you for believing in me, for standing by me through thick and thin, and for encouraging me. To my aunts and uncles, who are a part of my foundational support, I say thank you, and I look forward for your continued encouragement. I wish to extend a special thanks to my family and friends in Rock Sound and Wims's Bight, Eleuthera, and by extension throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and those from Turks and Caicos Islands, Cayman Islands, and Barbados who traveled to support me on this occasion. Your Excellency, you have been one of the female leaders and role models for many years that I and other women look up to. And I thank you now for having accepted my recommendation and swearing me in as Commissioner of Police. I thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, and the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas for the confidence and trust you repose in me to navigate this organization into a new era of policing. I pledge to restore the image of the force through positive change while enforcing the rule of law, a force that all of us can be proud to call our own, and most importantly, a force that is respected here and around the world that engenders public trust. The significant representation of this day is not all lost on me, Your Excellency. I promise to serve the Bahamian people on this appointment with my head held high on the bedrock of courage, integrity, and loyalty that was enshrined into the force by our forefathers more than 184 years ago. As I observe these noble principles, I will lead by example as a symbol of hope and trust, not only because it is what is expected, but because it was how I was raised, and more importantly, because it is what is right. To the current female leaders within the force, awaiting their turn, knowing that the commissionership is now in reach, I say to you, dig deeper, work harder, and go the extra mile, because the impossible is now possible. To the young female police officer navigating their way through the force, I say to you, ensure that your integrity remains intact, as it is paramount to your success. Your upward movement will depend on your work ethics. To the young ladies out there vacillating on whether or not to join the force, I am proof that this can be a successful career, knowing that you can climb the ladder all the way to the top. And to the young girls out there in schools across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, you can be anything you aspire to be by putting your best foot forward in all that you do. Your dreams can become a reality. Notwithstanding, there are many persons who contributed to shaping my career today, and too many to mention. But Your Excellency, please permit me to acknowledge former Commissioners of Police, Mr. Anthony Ferguson, who guided my days through the Criminal Investigation Department with sage advice, and His Excellency Paul Roll, who placed me in key positions during his tenure. Both of these men allowed me to bloom where I was planted, ultimately contributing to my current ascent. To Commissioner Clayton Fernando, we came up through the ranks in CID together. You took me on my first Family Island investigation and guided me through the process, which was a success. It has been an honor to serve with you over the years, and I wish to publicly thank you for your service on behalf of all the men and women of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and by extension, the Bahamian public. I am grateful for your insight and seamless handing over of the commissionership at this critical point in time. May the Lord bless you and keep you as you demit office to enjoy your retirement. Your Excellency, I am cognizant of the fact that there is a huge microscope currently trained on the operations of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Yet, it does not lessen or shift our resolve in the fight against crime. If anything, it amplifies and strengthens us to do better and to be better. To my fellow Bahamian citizens, I would like to say that the missteps of the force did not start overnight and surely cannot be corrected overnight. But we are an institution that stands the test of time, one that is filled with the most talented men and women who can stand shoulder to shoulder with law enforcement counterparts anywhere around the world. We are not in any sense or in any way defined by the mistakes of a few bad apples, nor are we defeated by perception, because this organization is bigger than any one of us, and we will work in synergy to restore its honor. We will learn from our mistakes and rise above the fray, because we are one of the oldest institutions in the history of the Bahamas. And truly, Your Excellency, I am heartened at this moment in time because we have evolved over the many years, waging different meanings to different generations of people. But universally, the force remains a pillar of strength to the Bahamian society, with a reputation emboldened on the tenets to protect and serve the public. It functions as a cohesive and noble unit where we are stronger together than operating apart. To that end, Your Excellency, we will focus on restructuring our internal processes to complement our overall crime-fighting objectives. We are well aware of the threats that exist, fueling the fear of crime in the Bahamas. The proliferation of illegal firearms, the illicit drug trade, illegal gangs, and the rate of murder are prominent on our crime-fighting agenda. One of our most vexing problems continues to be the use of firearms in the commission of serious crimes. Notwithstanding, we intend to bring new ideas and solutions to this fight that will include a multi-agency approach with our international and local partners. We will also rely heavily on the public to assist our crime-fighting strategies. This is our Bahamas. We are your police force, and it will take all of us working together to create a better Bahama land. So I humbly ask your assistance and support as we rebuild the image of the force, brick by brick, day by day. Yet, in this process of reestablishing public trust and confidence with you, we intend to double down on our efforts to improve the quality of life in urban and historical Bahamian areas. Our urban renewal infrastructure is already in place, and our restructuring of the force has put the right people in the right places to execute the plan. And this is where you have a role to play as we fully introduce and implement Clear, Hold, and Build initiative into our crime-fighting strategy, expanding from the Angliston area. A huge component of this strategy will require an overwhelming amount of support from the general public. We want to build our communities from the ground up and eradicate opportunities for organized gangs to recruit young Bahamians into a life of crime. We will break this cycle with your help to effectively impact the fear of crime in the Bahamas. During the clear phase of our initiative, we, the force, will work with our law enforcement partners and direct Operation Command to vigorously pursue prolific criminals, track down and arrest suspects, target drug peddlers and known drug houses, and dismantle unlawful gatherings. During the hold phase of our initiative, we, the force, will sustain a grip on previously cleared areas to prevent a resurgence of crime by maintaining high police presence and police visibility in these communities through our saturation patrols, special operations, community walkabouts, and good old-fashioned foot patrol in an effort to prevent crime. Finally, in our build phase of our initiative, we, the force, shall work hand in hand with you, the general public, to help our urban renewal platform, to help our communities become less susceptible to the draw of criminal activity. Our urban renewal platform will lead this process by continuing its efforts of clearing down overgrown properties where criminals lurk, hide, and use as escape routes. Likewise, we will continue to demolish abandoned and dilapidated buildings that create a refuge for criminal behavior, and we will remove derelict vehicles from within our communities, which not only create health hazards, but also provide storage spaces for criminals to hide illegal contrabands, weapons, drugs, or criminality. This historic approach to introduce Clear, Hold, and Build initiative as a crime-fighting strategy in our country seeks to reduce the crime levels, diminish the fear of crime, beautify our neighborhoods, and create a safe space for our future generations to come. In time, its protracted impact as a major response to crime will become evident. Together, we can make this a reality by doing our part. Building a safer Bahamas is all of our concern, and the process starts now with us on this day in this time. I will expand on my plans in the full details with the release of my 2025 policing plan. Yet, as we vigorously fight crime, we will work on ourselves as a police force to provide the public with the service that it deserves. Accordingly, within the first 90 days of my official duties as commissioner, I will direct that all police officers and police reserves at every level will complete mandatory training sessions centered on ethics, code of conduct, justifiable force and harm, and the abuse of power. Further, I will stipulate that all police officers working the front line to wear and activate their body-worn cameras as a mandatory requirement to documenting all interactions with members of the public as outlined in policy. In addition, we will review our training modules and transition the force into a learning organization. Training opportunities are provided in disciplines of leadership, management, oral, technology, criminal intelligence, criminal investigation, crime analysis, and best police practices. This direction will ensure that your police force remains on the cutting edge of the ever-changing crime landscape. To that end, I am pleased to announce the Shanta Knowles Scholarship Fund that will be available to all officers desirous of continuing their education in disciplines of law enforcement service. And I am pleased to announce that that fund has already received funding. Moreover, we will transform the way we recruit police officers, ensuring greater public involvement and a more transparent process for selecting candidates. By incorporating community input and scrutiny, we aim to build trust and accountability in our recruitment process. Vigorous background checks, enhanced psychological evaluations, and integrity assessments will remain central to our approach, complemented by active public participation to ensure that those who join the force are not only qualified, but also reflective of the values and aspirations of the communities they serve. Further, we will reestablish the inspection and review branch to ensure that all areas within the force are functioning at optimal levels. I pledge to you, my Bahamian people, that under my leadership, your police force will operate on transparency, and we will guard you while you sleep at night. We will run towards danger as others run to safety. We will stand up for the most vulnerable among you, ensuring their protection and dignity remains uncompromised. We will answer your calls in times of stress, while others may ignore or dismiss those in need. We will seek justice for you when all you feel is hopelessness. We will proudly enforce all the laws of the land for which we are charged, without fear or favor, in the execution of our duties and in a manner that respects individual human rights, reflects fairness, sensitivity, and compassion. Make no mistake, we will weed out the minority of officers who abuse their authority in an unprofessional manner and engage in criminality. Every officer shall be held accountable for their individual action, and we will take firm, fair, and decisive measures where there are grounds for disciplinary and legal recourse. We are a nation of laws, and none of us are above the law. Today, as I fully embrace this new mantle of leadership as Commissioner of Police for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I encourage all police officers to remain steadfast in your duties and to strive to maintain and improve our relationship with the public. Yours is a thankless job that oftentimes places you in dangerous situations. But this is what we signed up for. Wear your uniforms with dignity and respect, providing service above self to country. And as you provide service to our country, we will look after the welfare of you and your families. Heavenly Father, lead me and guide me along the way. Guide my feet, hold my hand. Stay in my heart, for I cannot walk this road alone, as I undertake this Herculean task to navigate the force into higher heights. Give me sustained clarity through your guiding light of goodness, that I will find sustenance and strength to aid my journey. Lead me and guide me, O Lord, in my pledge to remain true to my oath of office and to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I shall keep my eyes always on the Lord. With him at my right hand, I shall not be shaken. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. God bless the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. That was a very powerful and moving presentation. I'm satisfied that the Royal Bahamas Police Force stands with you, Commissioner of Police Designate. I don't know if you were listening and you heard that one of the qualifications to become the Commissioner of Police is that you need to have a large family with siblings. My 10 siblings would have come to my aid and made me Commissioner. But congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to continue with our program, I want you to know that the Commissioner of Police Designate was born in 1971 in Wimsbight. Now, Wimsbight is for Nasuvians. For Eleuthera people, is Wims's Bight, because Wimsbight is down south, and Wims's Bight is up south. You could get lost if you go in the wrong direction. And of course, as you know, Bryland is down north. So don't get lost when you come to Eleuthera. And we're thankful to have this woman of the soil to become our next Commissioner of Police. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Governor General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia Pratt, as she will administer the oath of allegiance and oath of office and to present credentials to Commissioner of Police Designate, Ms. Shanta Knowles. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me the newest Commissioner of Police for the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Ms. Shanta Knowles. We now wish to invite outgoing Commissioner of Police, Mr. Clayton Fernando, and Commissioner of Police, Ms. Shanta Knowles, to come forward for the presentation of the police flag and Commissioner's ceremonial sword. They are joined by their respective police staff officers. We will now have the signing of the handing over certificate. During the signing of the handing over certificate, the police band will render a selection.
Attention! Guard of honor, shoulder, hops. Guard of honor, general salute, present, hops.
Please stand for the national anthem of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Guard of honor, shoulder, hops. Hops. Good afternoon, Commissioner. Superintendent of Police Nicola says reports the 2025 Commissioner of Police handing over ceremony on a guard. 2 platoons under my command, the Royal Bahamas Police Force Band of Chief Superintendent Sheldon Adley. The parade stands at the open order and awaits your inspection, ma'am.
You may be seated. Commissioner of Police Shanta Knowles will now inspect the Guard of Honor under the command of Superintendent Nicola Says. Of note, this is the first handing over parade being led by a female officer of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. The women's platoon is under the charge of Woman Inspector Jakira Evans, and the male platoon is under the command of Inspector Terrell Stubbs. The band is directed by Chief Superintendent Sheldon Adderley, and the drum major is Woman Inspector Keva Major. Accompanying the Commissioner is Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Kirkwood Andrews, along with Police Staff Officer Superintendent Leonardo Burrows. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please, for our Commissioner of Police, Shanta Knowles, as she's inspected her honor guard.
Shoulder, hubs.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to stand as the band will now play for the very first time the Commissioner's new fanfare. I am told that the Commissioner was given several fanfares to listen to, and making her choice was not difficult. The name of this fanfare is Eleuthera, the island where she hails from. The fanfare was adapted from the song Eleuthera, written by Eddie Minnis, who was thrilled to have it adapted for this purpose. The fanfare was composed by the band's director, Chief Superintendent Selden Adderley, and arranged by Inspector Corey Cartwright. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Commissioner's fanfare, Eleuthera.
Guard of honor, general salute, present, house. Guard of honor, shoulder, house.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Guard of honor, general salute, present, house. Guard of honor, shoulder, house.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the exit of the Governor General of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Guard of honor, order, house.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to take your seats. Please take your seats. The next few moments, we are going to take an official photo, and we have a number, of course, senior officials who will be joining the Governor General for that photo. We ask that you remain in your seats for a few moments, please.
Color party. Ho! Up. Color party.